All right, I'm on a roll this morning, so I'm going to keep going. 6:46, stock market just opened. I haven't even opened my Robinhood yet to take a look at what's going on. The tech sector market crashed. A lot of my stocks went down. Remember, you don't lose money unless you sell. Don't sell. Although I have sold a lot. I've sold a lot of dead stocks. Stocks that were supposed to go up, didn't go up. Get out, put it in something else. All right, so my main forte of business is real estate. Real estate is my niche. For a lot of you that want to have that passive income, real estate is your avenue. That's your vehicle. And even though some people have rentals and now they're out of the rental market because they can't handle it, they can't handle tenants, the only thing I have to tell you there is you pick the wrong tenants. That's what it comes down to. So we have a lot of rental property. We have enough rental property that I don't have to work anymore. But I choose to keep that ball rolling because it's not always about me. It's not about my lifestyle. It's not about what I want. It has to do with longevity of my family and possibly their children and the other children after that. You always have to have that lightning bolt in the family. And since we are a military family, I keep everything real, right? I keep everything real to the point where I find it my responsibility to progress the family. And, as you get older and you start realizing that you made some right choices. I made a lot of right choices in 2009. Stock market, everything crashed. Actually, the stock market and real estate market both hand in hand crashed in 2008 at the peak. Pretty much where we are now. Everything was up. Everything was hunky-dory. Nobody thought anything was going to crash. And then subprime crashed, which means it took everything else with it. It took out the housing market, took out everything out. Give you an example. My house in California. I bought that house for $143,000 back in 1992. It climbed to a peak of $850,000. Okay. It dropped during 2008, crashed, and it started dropping. And it didn't finish until about 2010 and hit bottom. It hit bottom in 2010-11 at 380. 380. Okay? That is absolute madness. But I didn't worry about it too much because I knew I was going to be in that house until my son was 18. So when you look back and say, okay, what could I have done that was different? Like, did I really provide the code? I did. I did. Okay. We saved money between 2008 and 2010. And then I found Las Vegas had dropped 55% market value. So you could buy homes over here for 50 grand. 60 grand, 70 grand, 80 grand, 100 grand, right? The market was flooded. So then I did some more research. Thanks to the computer, thanks to all of this stuff. You could go in here and you could search and find out, click these little dots, find out what the hell's selling, how much it's selling for. And as you can see, as I'm clicking these dots, there's no more 50,000. That's a lot. So it's 126 for a piece of dirt. Right? And you get to the point where, oh, well, shit, man, I could go down there. I could buy a bunch of houses. Exactly what we did. That's the opportunity part. Seeing the opportunity, right? Having the drive to get into the truck, drive to Vegas, where you don't really know the real estate there, right? look around for different areas, select houses to buy in cash. That's what we did. Knowing that's going to go back up. During that time period, it was really strange because people saying, oh, Vegas is dead. Vegas literally is on its last leg, and there's lots of violence, and there's lots of this and that. People are houses getting broken into. Nobody has jobs, and Vegas is done. Like, it's going to turn into a ghost town. Okay? Which I find extremely humorous because you're not going to have Disneyland for adults evaporate. I'm telling you that right now. It's just not going to happen. So that's where the logic comes in. As an entrepreneur, you have to be very logical. You have to look at the facts. The facts is that every 7 to 10 years, real estate will go up and crash. And the reason why it crashes is because it's made to crash. Real estate is made to crash because you can't have real estate climb every single year, time after time after time, that will outperform wages. Because then nobody can buy a house. So when it crashes, you have a huge surplus of inventory, right? From people who lost their houses, right? And then you have this new wave of buyers. Comes in, buys them all up. And the system is designed to do that. So, 2010, 11, crash. Go in, buy a bunch of houses, sacrifice a lot of time, energy, money, go in, rehab them, get them rented. Okay? Now, there's a long-term picture there. The long-term picture for that event, the event of 2010, because you're not buying while the knife is falling, right? Where everything's falling down. You're going to buy when you think it's at the bottom, right? So that was about 2010, 2009, 10, right around there. So turn around, buy a bunch of houses, rent them, renovate, rent. Don't go crazy renovating. You're not going to live in the house, right? Don't go spending marble bathrooms and shit like that because you're just going to lose your money. Okay. You go in, you get it presentable. A lot of paint, works well. And then you're going to sit back and you're going to wait. And you're going to wait. And you're going to wait. 10 years goes by. Now, all of those properties you buy for $50,000 are all $200,000. Because you went back, or I went back, and I looked at how much they originally were selling for. Everything's going to return. It's just going to take time. That's it. Meanwhile, you're getting paid. Now, I'm going to do a couple episodes here just on numbers that I have saved, and we're going to go over those numbers. But the thing is that if you look at a lot of the past history of crashes in the real estate market, that's what you're going to find. And we're going to take a couple of those example houses that I did, and I'm going to pull them up on the computer, and you're going to be able to see. Matter of fact, I might even have one. Let me see. Hold on. We're going to run through the scenario real quick. So you got a house that you buy for $51,000 during that crash of 2010, right? So immediately we're going to take what we made in rent over a 10-year period of $120,000 in rent. Hello. We're going to take that 120. We're going to subtract the amount of money that we put into the property to purchase it. Then we're going to subtract the expenses for that property. So we come out with a grand total in 10 years of $53,000. $53,000. That's what we actually made on the property, right? No, that's not what we made. Here's the thing that people overlook. You have the 10 years of tax deduction, right? And then, and I can't put a number on that because it's your property is depreciated over 27.5 years. I'd have to go add up all the depreciation that changed in the tax documents, but it's substantial, right? It almost literally wipes out the income of the rent that coming in. Then on top of that, you have what you sold the property for. The property was sold for $202,000, right? So since we sold the property for $202,000, right? Then, and the reason why we sold it is because we were at 1031 exchanging up, which I'll do a whole episode on that, how the 1031 works. But in reality, what you ended up doing is you got a tax write-off. You made $53,000 in 10 years, right? And when you sold it, because you had so much equity in it, right? You got $202,000. So you made $255,000 off of this in 2 years, not to mention the tax write-off, which has to be at least $25,000, right? So you literally walk away with an investment of $275,000 in your pocket. And now the trick is to not sell it and pay the capital gains. If you sell this and you're going to pay capital gains 15% when Trump was in office, right? 15%. So the $275,000 gain you made off of a $51,000 investment, you have to scale it up. And that scale ability I will definitely do in another video.